by the time I get home, I have to jump out.
No problem. All right, we're live on Hangouts, and YouTube is up there. My God, they actually weren't hanging about. I wish they get the rest of their shit organized so I can get my notifications. Anyway, welcome live from the Crossroads of America, a talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience either in the chat boxes, or you can email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. We are broadcasting on YouTube's and gun channels. And I have a Patron page, which is listed below in the info under the YouTube, and it's on gun channels too, and it's on my lower thirds if you're watching the video. I also have a Spreadshirt page. Just type in Rick's Life or Spotted Rick, and my stuff should come up. And what else is happening? Oh, yes, if anybody's interested to listen to these past episodes, they're all on Podbean, Stitcher, and iTunes. And this one will be on there within 24 hours of it ending. So there we go. And who we got in the on chat? We got John Brown Productions, Blind Shooter, Patrick, Kingpin, Southpaw RX, 2 Live Moo. They're in the YouTube chat right now. And we got Sean Ponnery, John Brown Productions again, and David Bolin on gun channels. And if anybody wants to join the panel, the link to join the panel is on gun channels. So you need to go there to my page, and the link will be there in the chat box. Ohio 45 is on. He says, got you up on the 60-inch screen today. Oh, wow. I'm honored. I made it to the silver screen, the big time. You know? And also, so far on my panel, I know it's Saturday, summer's here, weather's getting warmer, people are out doing their stuff. So, but right now, I got a small panel, but it's powerful. That's all we need to say. So let me introduce my first one is Squib. How you doing?
Hi, thanks for the invite. Doing a little shopping. Travis P11 advised me to use purified water to brew my coffee, not distilled water. So I'm at the store picking up purified water.
Okay. And then we got the one and only, the Kingpin. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Rick. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, before we get started, this is just in general. Who's ever out there listening in YouTube land or on gun channels, I have a pet peeve. It's got nothing to do with guns or the Second Amendment. It's got to do with the way you advertise your web pages. This pet peeve I have, and it annoys the piss out of me. It really does. Is like, for argument's sake, I believe it or not, I have a web page. I can't remember the title of it right now, but I do have one. I haven't been to it in ages. But all you've got to do is type in, or if you're going to say it, all I got to say is rickslife.com. That isn't the name of it, so don't go typing it in. It won't come up. But I'm saying just rickslife.com. I don't have to say www.rickslife.com. Everybody knows that. You take any search engine, just type in the name. I mean, the product name of the thing you're looking for. You don't even have to put the www in there. Just type it in .com, and it will automatically find it for you. The days
Wait, your pet peeve
www are over.
Your pet peeve is simply that somebody says www. That's your pet peeve?
Yeah, really? I'm with you, Rick.
It annoys the piss out of me. It really does.
I agree.
Come on, you guys have way too much free time if that's... I mean, really? Come on.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it could be worse. They could say HTTP semicolon backslash backslash.
yeah,
Crap.
they could.
I thought maybe what you were going is, people have websites and they're really hard to navigate, and they crap out all the time, and they don't do what they direct you to their website, then you get there and it's just a crappy website, or they're trying to sell products, but it's not really user friendly, and after you're going through all the hoops to find the stuff on the website because they don't have it laid out in a way where you can shop easily, you get on there and you go to pay with your credit card, and they want you to use PayPal or some other garbage. Or I thought you were going there, but instead it's just www. Really?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, I like your. Hey, you ought to try some of that spotted dick.
That's what I was going to say. This message was brought to you by Simpson's Spotted Dick Sponge.
Now, after I'm done, I need to eat this digestives from McVitie's.
They are good.
Now, see, I told you about.
Are they playing? You got an English section there?
I told you there's an English section at Myers. You're looking at a Myers grocery store, and this is the English section.
Does it have Coleman's English mustard?
Coleman's English mustard. Let's see, there's lingonberries, whatever the heck that is. No, I see Berry's tea, Bert's British potato chips, all this stuff called digestive, which really doesn't sound very appealing.
They are actually. They're very good.
Stroop waffles. I mean, what the heck is a Stroop waffle?
And to think about, the British had a massive empire at one time too.
This is a death trooper.
Some of it's German and French. It's not all English.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this is, as far as I can tell,
It's a European section.
Okay. Well, no, because I mean they got Italy and they got some other stuff.
Yeah.
I know this is English, right? This is real oatmeal, right?
I got a can of that, and I got a can of that in my cupboard right now.
And here's some. Okay, so here we go. Beans.
Beans on toast. You can't beat it.
Yep. So, here you go, David. You can have some salad cream.
They got angry sauce there?
Now, let me tell you about this. So I bought this thinking this tastes like A1. It does not taste like A1.
Oh, man, you got Branston pickles. You got to buy some of that.
Marmite. Isn't this jelly?
No.
This is jelly, right?
No, it's not.
No?
No, it's a very horrible tasting spread.
Ugh. Okay. Yeah, this is.
Is that a Branston pickle there?
That's a pickle?
It's a Branston pickle. It's a spread. You need to buy a jar of that. You take your cheese. Take your cheese and spread it on top of it.
I'll get these pickles here. I don't know what it is.
No.
Red cabbage with apple. Ugh.
The Branston pickle, you like it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, maybe not. I'm looking for mustard, but I don't see. That's not mustard, is it?
That is mustard, but it's not Coleman's English mustard.
Coleman's English mustard, huh?
Did we start the food chat early now? Wow.
Right? It's
German mustard. Yeah.
It's a yellow color. It's yellow.
Yeah, I guess they don't have it here, but I'm sure it's something that could be found on Amazon.
In the regular aisle with the mustard. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, but see, all right. So when I was telling you before that you need to go to Myers, this is a typical section at a Myers store.
Yeah.
For that, it's in the World Foods aisle. The World Foods aisle.
Okay.
So, all right, I'm gonna go back to shopping.
All right, we're getting this show going. All right.
I show up late to the show and you guys already start the food chat.
Yeah.
I don't know if I consider that stuff food.
All right. My first topic on my thing was the very liberal newspaper, New York Times. And I've noticed lately, I don't know whether they've finally realized after the Mueller report come back out that, things ain't like they thought they were. Because they've been doing a lot of stuff saying, hang on a minute, that ain't right. What other mainstream media has been saying. Good example, like this last one they put out, was mass shootings. there has only been 170 of them since 1970. The New York Times actually put that out, which I was amazed that a paper that was so anti everything else done that, which I thought was good. That was good for us, that maybe that newspaper's turned the corner, or they got a new editor in there or something to get away from this total fake news that they've been pumping out for the last 2.5 years.
I can't remember the outlet, but Spartacus had said something about toy guns being more regulated than real guns, and they called whatever outlet it was. It was a left-leaning outlet. They called him out on that too.
Yeah, they should. There was another thing he said too. I can't remember that he needed. Oh yes, there has been more shootings since in the 50 years he's been born. There's been more deaths with handguns. I saw this. I'm trying to think who put the video out because I watched it the other day. That in the 50 years he's been alive, there's been more deaths by firearm than there was in the whole Civil War.
Oh, that was NEA Matt.
That was who?
That was Mr. Matt, NEA.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I watch so many sometimes I get all mixed up. But that made sense to me. I mean, that's the kind of crap they come up with. I mean, even according to his figuring, the guy's too short on the amount of murders in 50 years, or shootings with a handgun. But, there we go.
I wouldn't get too comfortable with the fake news not being fake news anymore. I think that's deliberate. The agenda is still the same. They want to take away the guns and strip away your rights, and they're happy to do it. But when stuff like that comes up and they call it out, I think it's just protecting their message, because saying like the toy guns are highly regulated compared to real guns is really going to hurt the message of the brand, of the Democrat Party brand. So sometimes they got to call that stuff out just to save face, not because they're interested in the truth of the facts or anything like that, but they just can't look like complete idiots.
Yeah, you got a good point there. To be honest with you, I never looked at it from that angle. Yeah, because like you said, even on the mass shooting stuff, all they got to do is look it up, and you can find it online. Just like, even go to the FBI, you can get a lot of this info, what's true and what isn't. But going on that lines, was it Minnesota that they voted down a red flag law in their state? Which I thought was good. But is it going to help? I mean, is it going to? But if the federal law passes, we're all screwed anyway. But I'm glad they've knocked that one down. Also, the Supreme Court, the New York case that was picked up. Did you read that the DOJ, now Department of Justice, has asked the Supreme Court to really look into what they're doing? So I mean, even they're on our side now, So I thought that was pretty good. And the best news is the Supreme Court asking New Jersey. The Supreme Court has even asked New Jersey for information on that stuff. So if they're asking for information to make a decision whether they're going to pick it up or not, there must be a good indicator that they're serious about picking it up. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, definitely. From inside sources, I can tell you that the Supreme Court is most likely picking it up. They're just dotting all the I's and crossing the T's before they actually make it public.
What, the New Jersey one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, they do pick that one up. That is going to be huge. That's even going to have more effect than the New York one. I personally think. But
definitely.
Yeah. What's your opinion, Dead Horse?
jumped in there. So what's the question?
Can't hear you. You're roboting on me.
Is that better, Rick?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just jumped in here. What's the question?
We were talking about the New York gun bill and the New Jersey gun bills going through the court system.
Oh, well, I think that might be a win for, at least it gives us hope that the Supreme Court's going to hear that, right? Because
Oh,
if
yeah.
it weren't, without the Supreme Court hearing it, it's already a lost deal, right? Like there's no hope at all. But so it gives us hope. The only thing I can say is try and contact them and our representatives and just try and show support for it, right? That the public supports this, that we want it heard by the Supreme Court and overturned.
Yeah. I think that's the only way this is the only way we're going to win nowadays is through the courts. Personally. On Second Amendment stuff.
It is,
It's the only way we've been winning for a long, long time. Well, honestly, since '68, it's the only way that we have won anything is from the Supreme Court. Really, that we've got any rights back, right?
Oh yeah.
I can't think of any rights that we've won or gotten back on even a state or local level without going to the Supreme Court.
You got a good point there. You definitely got a good point. Anybody else got any input? Somebody was saying something. Was that you, Blind Shooter?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's said that we have to rely on the Supreme Court to get what we want. But I feel like now that everyone is seeing that, the Supreme Court is going to start ruling more conservatively, a lot of the lower lying courts might actually stop and rethink their decision because it looks bad on them if it has to be taken all the way to the Supremes.
So I got a question. So let's say something's taken to the Supreme Court and it's overturned and found that it violated our, civil liberties or rights or whatnot, or it was just unconstitutional to begin with. The judges that initially made that ruling, are they ever held accountable? Like, oh, you went against the Constitution and that you
Never.
these people's rights. So how about let's get some legislature enacted in there that holds these judges who want to, overturn the Second Amendment and take away our rights. Let's hold them accountable.
I agree with you, Dead Horse, but I don't think it'll ever happen. I think they'll cite the fact that the nature of the judge's job, blah blah blah, and nobody will ever want to be a judge again, blah blah blah. It's just like
they used to do the same thing with police, Squib, but it's not like that anymore. Police are starting to be held accountable. So if I can see police officers starting to be held accountable nowadays, we sure the hell can start holding judges accountable.
I didn't say you were wrong. I said I just don't think it'll happen. I agree with you. I think they should. I think you should hold them accountable, and they need to think about their actions before they break the law. But more than just judges, politicians, and everybody that are there to serve us, that are working these cush government jobs with great benefits and pensions and everything else, need to understand that they work for us, not the other way around. I totally agree with you as far as the accountability and having some sort of penalty for them. I'd also like to see them find a way to at every level make it where these judges don't overstep their authority when it comes to outside their courtroom, because judges can get away with all kinds of stuff that other people in the government can't because they're a judge. And, it's garbage.
Well, that because if you look at it, again, like Dead Horse, I'm not saying you're wrong, but when it comes to, penalizing those who are violating the law, police officers are lower lying fruit opposed to judges. And if you look at it, who makes up the laws? The politicians. Who rules in the politicians' favor? The judges. So both sides are pretty much buddy-buddy, so they're not going to penalize one another for breaking the law.
Yeah, but in a better system that would be in place. The other thing, it's just like with the red flag laws. We all want the person who makes that false accusation to get slammed to the wall for that. That'll make people think twice about lying. But oh no, we can't do that, because then if we do that, nobody will ever report anything. Okay then, next, but of course they're not going to do it. And there's just some things that, even though I think it would work better, or it would be more fair, or it's what we're paying tax dollars for, the likelihood of it happening is just astronomical.
Yeah, you're right. Also, I said this in the chat too, talking about judges with the red flag law. You said somebody squealing, they don't get in trouble. No judge I will deny a application for to go in there and seize their guns, because they don't want the ones to be held. They don't want to be held accountable if that person they said, no, we are not going to do that, turns up and shoots somebody.
The problem with holding judges accountable is you have to do it legally. And you'd have to prove that they intended to circumvent the law or the Constitution. You know, what you could do is you could set up like a scoring system for judges, and every time that they judge that this is red and then it's overturned because it's really blue, they get a score. And once they hit a certain score, they get disbarred and removed from the court. But just, if Judge Smith says, I think you need to go to jail, you have to go back and prove that Judge Smith violated the law on purpose. That's where the stickiness comes involved, is you have to prove it. We can't just go in there with pitchforks and axes and round them up like the mob and kick them out, ride them out of town on a rail. That's where the difficulty is going to come in holding them accountable like that, is you'd have to prove that they had intent to violate the law.
Yeah,
I can tell you firsthand, I've been treated unfairly by a judge, and it drove me nuts. I had to keep everything inside of me not to react, because I knew if I reacted, he more or less told me, I don't care what the law in the state of Michigan is. You are in my courtroom now. I make the law. He looked over at the bailiff, and the bailiff was ready to snatch me up and drag me across the street to the county jail for contempt of court if I ran my mouth, because I wanted to go, excuse me, you work for me, pal. I did my research. You're even admitting that you know that this is state law that you're violating. But I couldn't say I couldn't do anything, because that's literally what, and I wouldn't have had a leg to, what am I going to do? Resist arrest? Now they're just another charge and another charge. That's what I mean about these guys having this sort of authority, and you have to make a decision. Do you want to make it worse, or do you want to make it go away as quick as possible? Now, I know making it go away as quick as possible is not fair, but when you got kids at home counting on you, you're just gonna, and it, by the way, it wasn't a criminal case, but it doesn't matter. That's another thing too. There are judges in one form, of law and another form of law. It's just kind of like there's lawyers that specialize in one thing or another. Your bankruptcy judge is not going to handle family law, and your family law is not going to handle a criminal case, and on and on and on. And in some cases, these guys, like when you go to vote where I'm at, when you vote for the judges for the county, it says pick no more than 8, and there's only 8 on the ballot. There's never 9. So you automatically, if you don't vote, they're going to get reelected anyhow, because there's nobody running against them. And I think it kind of goes hand in hand with your whole buddy thing. That's just what they do. The only way we get a new judge around here is one of them retires and somebody takes their place. And I don't agree with that either, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it.
Well, that's why we got to kind of get the younger generation involved in politics and try to get them to become a judge. I mean, it'll be, way down the line. It probably won't be in our lifetime, but at least we'd be able to set the stage up so that way the future generation doesn't have to deal with all the bullshit that we have to deal with.
Think about this. How many judges are former defense attorneys versus former district attorneys? Think about that, and see if you can find any info on what the disparity is there. District attorneys versus defense attorneys, judges, right? So I think you'll find out that like over 90% of judges were former district attorneys and not defense attorneys. So think about that.
Good
Plus,
point.
Well, the consistency in their rulings would be nice too. I had a situation where the plaintiff against me did one thing and the judge supported it, and 2 courtrooms down, Similar thing happened to somebody else, and the judge threatened to put the plaintiff in jail because it wasn't right to the defendant what they were doing. These are two judges in the same county on the same floor of the same court building, ruling in the same kind of court. They're just one's at one end of the hall, one's at the other. Same exact situation, but they both rule differently. And it's like, well, what the heck, man? And I understand it's a case by case, but this was literally the exact same situation. There was no difference. Even the number of people involved was, everything was the same. So, you know, and I understand from state to state that's different. But even within a state, you'll get a judge rule one way, and then you'll get a judge rule another way, and you don't know which.
I lost you. What happened? Can you guys hear me? Talk to me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Rick.
Okay. I thought
We
I
just
lost
not good.
it. Dropped off there on my end anyway.
I was just asking for consistency in rulings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but talking about judges, I mean, even the Supreme Court. I mean, when you get to that level of judge, unfortunately, what should be and what actually is two different things. There should be 8 judges. Is it 8 or is it 9 on the Supreme Court? 9, isn't it? It's 9 of them.
9.
Yeah, I mean, they are meant to be, that's the highest court in the land. That is meant to be 9 justices that are impartial. They just follow what the Constitution says. But it's political. I mean, even with, you know, we're all excited because Trump got to choose 2 Supreme Court justices because we know that they're going to be constitutional and rule in our favor. You know?
Well, that's one of the big problems right there, too, because this country was not founded on judges making determinations for what I do with my life. These judges aren't supposed to be ruling our country the way they are. We rule this country, not them. And over the years and the political debauchery that's going on, judges and politicians have been the rulers of this country.
Yes, you're right. And we got so used to it, it's like become the norm. Realizing that isn't the way it's meant to be. You know, it's all I remember. I mean, you got to remember too, I have over half my life, I lived overseas. So, you know, since I've been living here constantly now for what was it, 20? When did I finally move back here? It was 95. So from 95 to now, it's been the same.
So I want to say something. I want to say something going back to what David said about proving intent to break the law. You don't have to prove intent. All there has to be is a victim. So if I'm a victim, it doesn't matter if that judge had intent or not. If he causes me harm in any way, shape, or form, he is liable. So you don't really have to prove intent. If a judge made a ruling against me and says, "Oh, you're not allowed to have guns," or "You're going to jail because you owned a gun," and that's it. All I'd have to do is prove bodily harm or injury or something like that. But I don't have to prove intent. I don't have to prove that he did it maliciously or anything like that. All he has to do is make a mistake that causes me harm, and that's all you need. Realistically, I mean.
Okay, so for the judge that didn't issue the personal protection order, and then the person gets killed, and the family, have you ever heard of the family suing the judge that didn't issue the PPO? Because they do from time to time. You know,
the city, yeah, I've totally heard of them suing the city and the state because of reasons exactly like that.
Yeah, but also
And
notice how.
Well, wait. Suing the city and state. No, I'm talking about suing the judge personally. It's just like when the teacher does something wrong. You don't sue the teacher, you sue the school system. All you're doing is suing the taxpayer. The person's actually not getting penalized for it. That's the problem, I think, is what you're saying is you can sue the government and they'll just take taxpayer money to pay off the lawsuit. But the actual person who made the decision walks away scot-free.
Yeah, but even then, it's swept under the table, so you never hear anything about it.
I guarantee you a $30 million lawsuit that LA has to pay out, that judge ain't walking away scot-free. They don't when it's that kind of money you're talking about. There are consequences. And these guys are held. They are held accountable. They are relieved of duty. You know, they are fired. A judge can be fired. It happens all the time. It really does. We just might not hear about it. But I guarantee you, if you type in on Google right now, judge is fired, you're going to get thousands upon thousands of hits. Even recently, within just the last month, you're going to find lots of judges that have been fired just in the last 30 days here in America. So, I mean, they are held accountable. They're human. They can make mistakes and stuff. And if that mistake causes someone else harm, they can be held accountable just as much as any other person in this country. They're not protected. Even the president's not protected. We saw what happened to Nixon and Clinton. And, you know, I mean, we can't say that these judges are untouchable.
Good point. Real quick before we carry on, let me do my quiz question from last week, and it was for my great swag pack here. You know, I got a thing for a can of beer or a soda, a lanyard, got patches, gun oil, all kinds of goodies in this box, and we got the question was, in the movie Gran Torino, what weapon did Martin the Barber use? A Remington 870 shotgun. And we had, hang on, let me find my page here. Where is it? Here it is. We had, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only had 6 entries this week. So the chances of winning are damn good. You know? So.
A more important question is, show of hands, how many people here go to a barber shop where the barber is armed?
Well,
I do.
I do too. I said that movie was supposed to take place in Detroit, but it's really more like Hamtramck, and even there, you're not going to have a barber with a shotgun. But I can tell you that my barber shop, yeah. And it's not that it's dangerous. It's just we're free.
Yeah, let me hit the draw now button.
It's like my barber doesn't have the 870, but he's got a Glock 19.
Okay, the winner is Blind Shooter.
Again? Wow. Damn.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. Was it the unknown blind user, or was it?
No, it's Blind Shooter this time. Last week it was unknown user.
Rigged.
No, if it was the unknown user again, then it would be rigged. But he didn't win.
Wait a minute. Are these the only 2 people entering answers? Because then the odds.
There's very few. I said there's only 6 entries. You know, so when I hit the button.
Well, okay. So okay. You know why you're only getting 6 entries, Rick? Because you're only having the same 2 guys win. I'm just giving you a hard time, man. I'm just messing with you.
Every week I enter the answer Glock 19, and I haven't won yet. So eventually I will.
Yeah,
no, it's 42. It's 42.
Yeah, and so, you know, and actually for this week, this week, unknown user cannot enter because he supplied the question.
So that means I'll win again next week?
You know, you could win again next week. You know, and this week's package, they're not very good. I got a pair of, you know, shooting glasses in case you're $100 pair break or something and you need some, or you're taking a guest and you need some shooting glasses for them. Got them there. What else I got here? I got stickers. I got my sticker, of course. I got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of goodies here. Whole stack full. And and I got a, where the hell is it? Here it is. And a little a Glock pin to put on your gun bag or your jacket when you wear it or whatever. So, and hang on, let me grab my other bag over here with all my other goodies in it that I go through. What am I looking for? Here it is. I'll throw in a little thing of gun oil in there too. So that's for next week. And the question, I'll give you the question now. This is email only. Don't go right in the chat now. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. And the question is, actually, it's based on the same film. So really, this should be really easy, right?
Get off my lawn.
Well, that's part of it. What was it? Kowalski? Is that how you pronounce his last name in that movie? You know, what I want to know is what were, hang on, where are we at? What were his two guns of choice for taking on the young punks walking across his grass and terrorizing his neighborhood? I want the two weapons, two guns, make and model of what he was using.
Glock 19.
You know, it was a Glock 42. So.
See, about the whole Glock thing, you don't want people to know that you've got a Glock because they're going to be like, get rid of that plastic gun and get yourself a 1911, son.
It's like you might get shot just for having a Glock.
Yep. Ohio 45 says he recognizes the clear bag of swag I just pulled out. Yeah, he gave me a whole bunch of swag in there. Plus, I added a whole bunch that I got from the NRA show in the same bag there. And I got a box up here that I got from Clover Tech of stuff. So I'm doing pretty good lately.
Rick was running into people, knocking them down, grabbing their swag, and then getting out of there before anybody could do anything.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so email me the question of that. What two weapons did he use, mainly using that movie to terrorize the kids walking across his lawn and terrorizing the rest of the neighborhood?
Was it a pair of walkers?
His surly voice and his 1,000-yard stare, Rick.
Yeah. That's right. So there we go. So email the answer to rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. And that super duper swag pack could be yours. And unknown user is not entering. So the only one you got to worry about is blind shooter. So if you take him out, then you stand a chance. Yeah. Okay. Back to the chat. Where were we? What do we want to talk about? We're talking about judges, weren't we? Being accountable. I think, anybody's not above the law. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. But there was something I wanted to say. Oh, on a happy note right here, Patriots is not here on the panel, but he did pop into the chat here.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that everybody's happy that he's not on the panel.
Well, he goes, why is that every time I miss Rick's chat, I hear that squeaky little squib voice?
I'm just trying to fill in for you, man.
Well, I typed back to him and I said, because you are not here to control him, Patriot.
And see, that's just it. I'm filling in for him. I've got to talk even more than normal, which is a lot.
Yeah.
If he'd show up, I'd shut up.
Well, Patriot then typed back in his hashtag, use the mute button. Okay. Sorry. I just had
No, that was a good one.
That struck me as funny. So,
you know what's funny? It's funny as a blind guy saying use the mute button. That's what's funny.
Well, as Ohio 45 said, you're representing Michigan today because he's not here. You know?
Yeah, Michigan and the Marine Corps. So, we have that in common. So,
yeah. Also, I read an article this morning that there's been now 5 or 6 state Republican representatives wanting to get rid of Chicago from Illinois, separate themselves from that city because that city and its politics, because that's where all the money and power is, seems to control the state when the state doesn't believe in, because Chicago is very left-leaning and the rest of the state isn't. I read that article this morning. I can't see it really happening, but hell, give it a shot. I mean, couldn't they make Chicago not necessarily a state, But they
district.
couldn't they make it like DC? You know, because Washington D.C. is not.
Yeah, but then Chicago's going to be under basically federal laws, right? They're not going to have their own laws. It's going to be federal interpreting the local laws, right? Just like Washington D.C. So that might be a little bit of a slippery slope that Chicago might not want to roll down.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It's because I mean, you listen. He's not here today. I thought he would be, but Tony. I mean, you listen to him, and I believe. I mean, as he says, most people in Illinois are gun friendly, but you listen to the politicians from the state of Illinois that they hate the damn things, and they keep blaming Indiana for all their gun troubles. You know. Oh, there we go. Patriot in the Dark, Washington, D.C., named after our first president, George Washington. Yeah, well, we figured that. You know what?
Thanks for that tip. We wouldn't be anywhere without you, man.
I know. You sorted us all out there, Patriot, with that one. Thank you.
No, you missed it. Rick, you missed it. So he said Washington, D.C. is named after our first president, George Washington, D.C.
Oh.
That's a play on words on the. If you saw Patriot's link on the Gun Channel's front page with the mini AOC little girl who basically mocks. Yeah, so there's this little girl who mocks that Alexandria Cortez lady, and makes her, just basically mocks her, right? But that's what she was saying to mock Alexandria Cortez, is that, oh, Washington D.C. is named after our first president, George Washington D.C.
Okay, I got it. I didn't see it, so all right. I need to go look at that then. I saw he posted something when I was posting that this show was on at 3 on there, but I didn't have I didn't click on it because I was running behind schedule. Normally, go on.
I was going to say, one thing I will say about that link that he posted, I think it's funny and all, but, like Artisan Tony commented about it on the front page. I doubt this. To me, it looks like it's like a 6-year-old little girl. Obviously, she's not writing her own material, her own skits. It's obviously her parents putting her up to it, right? They might not be forcing her to do it, but it's obviously her parents' idea, everything she's saying. And I don't necessarily agree with that, like putting your kid out there and using them as a political tool like that. Even though it's funny, even though I agree with a lot of the stuff she says, it's still not right.
No,
I just don't agree with putting your kid out there and using them as a political battering ram, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, that's what the media done with the kids from Parkland too.
Well, no, and this is on our side.
I know it's on our side, but
it's on our side, and I still don't agree with it.
I don't agree with them. Like I'm glad those people up in that last shooting where all the students and parents walked out when the politicians got up there and started doing their gun control shit. When they were there to do that memorial to the kid that died, trying to stop the shooter. Where the hell was that at? Oh man, my brain's gone numb.
In Denver? When they walked out?
Yes. Yeah, where I'm going, I thought that was great. That went for our side too.
Who says kids can't think for themselves and determine what's right or wrong? You know what I mean? That to me, that showed that, hey, we still have kids out there that have half a brain and that know right from wrong. And so that gave me some hope for our future youth.
Yeah. Patriot in the Dark says, and you're welcome for the next topic. So I'm losing it. Well, give us a topic then, Patriot. Come on. Since you're out there in the chat causing havoc.
I think he was hoping for Alexandria Cortez to be the next topic. I really hope not.
Topic. I like Matt's poll he done. Never enough ammo. The most stupidest person, and she won.
Well, how could she not? everybody knows a girl like her. She was the one in high school that was either smoking weed, not showing up for class, or having sex with every other guy she could get.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is why. I mean, she didn't beat anybody to get that. I mean, she had nobody opposing her, really, for that seat. And she ain't that great. I mean, why? And another thing is, right? Instead of calling her, I mean, we all call her AOC because it's easier than pronouncing her name. But that's sort of like giving her a celeb status now that the media and everybody else is giving her, and she doesn't deserve it, in my opinion.
Well, the only reason she's getting the fame that she is because she's the youngest politician, she's a female, and she's Hispanic.
And she's a socialist, a hero of Antifa, and far, far leaning leftist.
And she's an idiot.
Hey, Tony!
Hey, guys.
Good to see you.
Hey, Tony.
Squid must have dropped out on it. He said he was going to when he got home. You know, looks like Squid dropped out because he got home and he has family.
Well, Tony's here if you want to talk about Chicago. He's the one to talk to, right? I think.
Oh, Tony? Oh, yeah. We're going to get to that, but I'm just saying. I just wanted to say.
In Lake Michigan. There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, I was just going to say Squib dropped out because he said he got family duties to do after he got home. But basically what it is, his wife controls him. He's under her thumb. So he's not allowed to come on here when she's around. See, that's what it is. Anyway.
Any of us are married can sympathize with that.
Yeah. Anyway, we were talking about, I was reading this morning, Tony, that another Republican representative wants to separate from Chicago, make it a separate state. You hearing any more about that?
As far as I know, there's just two guys that are on it.
Well, no, as of this morning, I think there's 5 now signed, co-sponsored it.
So, well, it isn't going to go anywhere here. I mean, they don't even have enough to stop a veto-proof vote. Well, they're under a third.
What?
They don't have enough to stop the Democrats from doing veto-proof votes.
True.
So,
True. Anyway, back to saying, did you watch that? Do you watch Liberty Doll on?
I watched a video of hers today, but not about Chicago.
Did you watch the one about selling guns, Indiana? It was pathetic. You know, they got some 18-year-old kid who was totally clean, and they wanted him to buy a handgun and transport it across state lines. Well, first off, he was 18, so he couldn't buy a handgun. So he bought a bolt-action rifle. It was a Remington, and that's what was used at Sandy Hook. I think that's what they said. So that's good enough. It's the same company, you know. And they didn't want to, and they were stopping just before the state line because they didn't want to take it into Illinois, and because there's no checkpoint, there's no wall to stop people coming into the state with weapons from other areas, like from Indiana. It was pathetic. It really was. But where I was going, as I said earlier at the beginning of the show, that to the young masses who know no different, to them, they and take it to Illinois. Well, yeah, you legally can. I mean, not if you're going to sell it there, or I mean, you can transport a gun across state lines.
You can't buy a handgun out of your own state.
No, you can't. But this kid was from Indiana.
What they need to do is reshoot that video and then go down to the greens or whatever and pick up one of the 19-year-old kids there, then drive them across and let's see if they pass the 4473, because the little clean-cut beaver cleaver kid that they picked up probably never had a speeding ticket in his life, so of course you can legally buy a gun somewhere.
Oh yeah, and the way they made it, because it was the 4470. It was done at Cabelas, one of the biggest gun stores that sell illegal guns that are used in crimes in Chicago in Illinois. It was in the top 10 or something. Cabelas, can you believe this crap? And they went in there and they do the 4473 in the one they went into on an iPad.
Well, there was 10 people that bought guns at Cabelas bought guns that were used in crimes, and 3 of them were from Cabelas, and Cabelas could be in the top 10.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, because the 4473 is all electronic now, it was like the way they check people is it only took 15 minutes or something. It's just not as good as it is in Illinois.
Yeah, what they need to do though is crack down on the gun sales that are being done privately through the auctions and the garage sales. Because I'm not going to name names, I'm not going to snitch on anyone, but I've seen it happen multiple times where people I've known have gone to either Pennsylvania or down to Tennessee, and they've come back to the state of New Jersey with 22s, Glock 19s, and Mini 14s.
Well, that's up to the individual civilian who's selling the gun to do his due diligence and obey the law by asking for an ID. So you're supposed to have a state ID, right? So here in Utah, if I go to sell one of my guns to a private person, I'm required to ask him for ID and ask if he's a felon. So, if I don't do that and then I sell him a gun and he goes commits a crime, am I going to be held liable? Probably. And should I be? Probably.
We have to check if they have a FOID card and have to call state police and see that it's valid.
The complaint about the 4473 being on an iPad is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because it's 2019 and it's called technology and advancement. That's like going back and saying, well, man, these credit cards have made spending money way too easy. We got to get rid of credit cards and go back to long form checks.
Oh yeah.
Well, you hear California is going to be banning paper receipts, right? All paper receipts. That there's a bill that's going to more than likely pass, just like their paper straw initiative. But you're not going to be able to get a paper receipt anymore in California. So that's going to be real fun when you go to the CVS pharmacy to get your prescriptions, let me tell you.
Well, and that leads right to my point exactly. Technology makes that kind of stuff happen. Now, I understand California, it's the crazy leftist environmentalist. But the natural evolution of technology is going to eventually be paperless. And that's just going to happen. So, of course, the 4473 is going to end up being paperless and going to be on the iPad or on your computer, because that's the way technology moves forward.
Well, even your traffic tickets are on iPads nowadays. So.
Right.
But you mentioned like going for prescriptions. When I go into CVS, no matter if I get my prescriptions there or I go in there and buy a soda, I don't get a receipt at all, ever. I get an electronic email telling me what I bought as my receipt. They don't actually print me one out anymore.
Oh, that's good, because I don't know about you, but I've walked into CVS and just bought like a pack of gum before and had a receipt 18 inches long.
Oh, no. I mean, I can't remember why I did that. I think they asked me if I wanted to go electronic receipts, and I said, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I don't get a receipt from them. I mean, also like my bank accounts that I have two bank. I use one. I got a bank account that I use and I have a prepaid card I use, like when I buy stuff on the internet and stuff like that. So if somebody tells me a number, they're only going to be able to get what's left on it or whatever.
That's funny. I went to the grocery store the other day to get some shaving cream, and I got one can of small shaving cream for, I don't know, $2 or something like that. And I got 3 receipts that were like 18 inches long.
Yeah, it's amazing it's a waste of paper.
Dollar General is good about handing you 3 or 4 feet of receipt.
Who?
Dollar General.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because Family Dollar is the same company as General Dollar now, I believe. one bought the other one out or something. Yeah, I went in there. What was it yesterday? Just to get a $8 little plastic container of cat treats because I forgot to buy them when I was in Walmart the other day. And you're right. I got a receipt that was it had to be over a foot long. This receipt for one item. I thought, Jesus Christ, you know. But anyway, where I was going with my bank accounts, I don't get when they say you want a receipt, I always say no because I get automatically within seconds of me doing the transaction, one account sends me an email, the other account sends me a text telling me about the transaction. So I don't need all that goddamn paper filling my pockets up, you know. Oh, see, for an old guy, I'm getting up there. I'm getting pretty tech savvy with you youngsters, you know.
Well, it's paper's just extra weight to fucking carry.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there we go. What else do we want to talk about, guys?
Nah, I'm waiting for my primer bulb and my chainsaw to get in.
I thought you got the chainsaw the other day.
I'm waiting for the primer bulb for the light one that I can handle well.
Waiting for a what?
I'm waiting for a primer bulb for the light chainsaw I got. Both
Okay.
the other ones are really fucking heavy.
All right. But you know what? I have never, ever used a chainsaw in my life. So, just I'll throw that out there. So that's why I had to ask you twice what you were waiting for. I had to stop and think what you're talking about, you know?
You mean you've never gone to Home Depot and tried to get customer support and just rev the chainsaw so you can come running?
No. Does that work?
All the frickin' time.
Actually, I never thought of that, to be honest with you. Yeah, so there we go. Oh, I was in Walmart. When was it? Yesterday. I went there yesterday morning. Well, not too early. It was about 10:30. That's early for me. The reason I went that late or early, I went that late because our out here in the middle of nowhere, we don't have trash collection. You have to take it to the local dump or transfer station, whatever you wish to call it, and you got to pay $1 a bag to throw it in their dumpster. It's outrageous. It really is.
Oh, quit bitching.
But it doesn't open to 10.
I'm paying $175 every 3 fucking months.
You know, but it doesn't open to 10 o'clock. So that's why. So I leave the house to be able to hit it as soon as it opens, so I can dump my trash and head over to Walmart. You know, because I don't want the trash sitting in my truck too long. So anyway, I do that over to Walmart. I had to wait for a damn electric scooter. I know I should have taken mine, you know, but the reason I don't take mine is I got that girly basket on the front, and they don't have any hand baskets in this Walmart. It pisses me off too. That's another pet peeve I have, you know. But so anyway, I've done a little bit of shopping. Came out of there. I went and had a roast beef sandwich or grind or whatever you want to call it from Arby's. You know, by the time I got on the way home, it was just going 12. I was leaving, and it was just around 12:05. I was a bad boy. I swung by Dairy Queen and got me a medium-sized cone. God, that was good. You know.
Now, if I sound a little pissy about the whole garbage thing,
Yeah.
that's just because I just paid my freaking garbage bill.
$175 for 3 months?
Yep.
That's expensive.
No shit.
Yeah.
Can't you just light your garbage on fire?
No.
Okay.
I don't think we can do it here either. Well, I don't think I can do it here because I think it's in my lease agreement because I rent the place. So I think it says I can't have no fires. You know.
I could burn stuff in burn barrel, but
You know.
it's just I got one burn barrel already that I'm gonna have to get the fuck out of here. It's a lot simpler. Hell, now that the daughter and the kids are gone, me and the lady are lucky to have 3 bags a week. And 2 of those bags would be small. like kitchen size bags.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I guess for $1 a bag, I can't complain because most of my trash bags weigh 30 to 40 pound each because they're full of cat litter. Dirty cat litter. I throw them in the dumpster.
I can tell you at the landfill that is around here, if you go there, it costs you $75 to dump. Minimum.
That's outrageous.
I went over there. I was taking a couch or something over there. And I rolled in. This thing didn't weigh a couple 100 pounds. And they're like, that'll be $75. I said, but it's supposed to be $75 for a cubic yard, I think. And I'm like, I didn't have anywhere near that much. Just minimum $75.
Bastards. They get you any way they can. They really do. Yeah, but talking about that, I mean, like here, I have to pay for water, which I don't mind. It's roughly $20 a month for water for me in this little apartment I have. Or it's not an apartment. They call it an apartment, but I call it a little sort of like it's a duplex, ranch duplex. So anyway, but what I really gets here in Indiana is sewage. They charge me $48.90 a month for me to flush my goddamn toilet. It really pisses me off. You got me on my pissed off mood today. So, $50 a month for pay for sewage. I think
you got me beat on that one. I don't think I pay but about $20.
Yeah, that's disgusting. It really is.
For $50 a month, I'd just go outside and piss in the sewer.
Hey, I'm about ready to do it. I tell you, hey, keep your sewer.
Why do you think in San Francisco all the streets are so dirty right now?
Yeah, you're right. So, I pay it, but I mean, and it annoys me that I'm paying so much. But I've said this before. Even with the rent here for this place, paying for the sewer and the water and the electric that I pay, and let's see, and my cable and my internet, all that combined is still less than what I paid for my rent and utilities in Rhode Island. It's still less. So I'm still better off living here.
Yeah, that's with me in this little house we bought. The utility difference is paying our rent for nothing, or our mortgage payments for nothing.
Yeah. Oh, the Gun Snobs joined us. How you doing?
I'm good. I missed a little bit. Can we start over from the beginning?
No. I missed it too, and I don't want to go back through it.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember. I started off on my pet peeve, I think it was. But we won't go there again because Squib thought it was pathetic. My pet peeve, was my pet peeve.
How in the hell? Now I'm curious.
Okay. We use Gun Snob, for instance, right? Say he has a website called gunsnob.com.
It's .net, by the way.
Okay, but okay, .net. Okay. When you're telling people, I've got a website, go over to gunsnob.net. You don't have to say www.thegunsnob.net. In this day and age, you don't need to know that. You just type in thegunsnob.net and it will automatically take you there. It will fill it in. It will do the HTTP //www. It will fill it all in for you. All
right, guys. From now on, whenever you say you got a website, be sure to include the HTTPS and the www. Fuck your pet peeve. There you go.
It just annoys the hell out of me when people say that. I mean, I understood it when the internet was new and things were going on, but in today's day and age, you don't need to say that when you advertise your website.
You might have to say that if you're talking to somebody from Russia or one of the countries that have eliminated the World Wide Web and have a basically a World Wide Web that's just within their own country. You might need to explain that to them. So some foreigners from other countries, that would be the only reason really to say www.
Just imagine if these kids today had to actually type in a freaking web address instead of clicking a button.
Oh no, you started talking about the interwebs, and look who shows up.
Yeah, I saw that too. Night Strike. How you doing, buddy?
Okay, Rick. I have to set you straight. For GunTube, you need the www. You have to.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure.
No, you don't. I type in guntube.org and it takes me right to it.
Yep, I just typed
Really?
in guntube.org and it doesn't even show a www dot in front of it. It's just guntube.org and I'm on the site.
Yep, mine went right to it when I typed in guntube.org.
Ever since I've been on GunTube, as soon as I type in GunTU,
You know what, guys? That's progress.
I'm on guntube.org. I'm there. And my browser now says https so-and-so / www.guntube.org. But all I typed in was guntube.org, and it automatically found it.
All right,
Yeah,
that's
you
progress.
don't even got to type in GunTube. You just hit the letter G and it'll come up.
No, not that. It's not that.
All I got to do is click on the desktop icon. I go right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was just saying, when you advertise your website, you don't have to do the www. I mean, like Ohio 45 just put in the chat room. No, it's www.thegunsnob.com. You don't have to say. All you had to say is it's thegunsnob.com.
All right, I have a complaint though. You're complaining about this, and look at your little bar under your name.
Yes, you're right.
www.patreon.com/Rick Mitchell.
Right.
right?
You're
But
right.
Rick's problem is with you audibly saying it, like when you're doing your plugs.
What Rick is saying is he wants all those Russian investors to invest in his Patreon.
Actually, you're right on that, and I've got to get that changed because I want that off of there. I didn't make that. Who made it? I mean, I appreciate it. Ghost Tactical made that for me, that lower thirds there. And he is one of the www.ghosttactical.com kind of guys. That's why it's on there.
Well, send me the image. I'll fix it for you.
Patreon.com. You know? But I just
Rick,
say that's a pet peeve. That's all.
Rick, send me the image. I'll fix it for you.
Okay. I will. I appreciate that. Because also it needs fixing. .com. Or not, no.
Okay, we're waiting, Gunsnob. What's going on?
The one in the white
Oh,
at the top
my camera.
where it says Rick's Life, as I see it. If you look, the life, L in the I, capitalized. I just need the L capitalized, not the I.
Look, mine does not say www.
No, yours is right.
It says thegunsnob.net.
That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. You know? But I was just saying, it was just a pet peeve I have, the hearing it. Tony was interested in what I was
Send me the image and I'll fix it.
Hearing people say it just annoys the hell out of me. It really does.
I was just curious what Squib found of your pet peeves that was annoying. That's what I was.
That he thought that if that's, I must have too much time on my hands. If something like that annoys the hell out of me.
This is Squib we're talking about.
Yeah.
But well, hold on. I think he might have something there, Rick, because I use www.whatever.com. It still works.
But you don't need to say it. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to say it. In today's day and age, in the high tech world we live in, guntube.org.
Okay. All right. Rick's gone, futuristic on us.
All these old guys are just set in their ways, Rick. You can't expect them to keep up with.
Change. They just don't want to change.
Rick's just gone futuristic on us.
Whenever they say I've got a website, you can find me at Stick Your Fingers in Your Ears.
Ohio 45 says someone needs to lance the ball on Rick's butt so he quits grabbing. Oh, that's funny.
Heaven forbid you ever get, www.rickslifeasiseeit.com.
Actually, I do have a website, but it's listed there on YouTube under the info, and I think it's listed on gun channels too. But I think I use I use one of those free ones that do it for you. I can't think of the name of it.
He's not saying get rid of the www. He's just saying stop fucking saying it.
That's right. You don't need to say it. I don't mind you printing it, but you don't need to say it.
No, we need to say it just for Rick.
No shit.
That's it's a pet peeve, like when you guys start talking. That annoys the shit out of me too, because I don't give a shit about scopes because I don't have one.
Well, that's okay.
Is it a double yeah or a W? That's what I want to know. Is it a double yeah or a W?
No, it's either a W or a W.
You've never heard George Bush say it then?
No. I've heard
obviously a double yeah.
Is that George
I've heard
W?
W said, and he says it like this: W.
It's a W. It's not W. It's a W. W.
It's actually W.
I know it is.
When it really should have been double B.
Oh, Raphael has joined us in the chat. How you doing, Raph? Good to see you. So that was that. So we spent another 15, 20 minutes on that.
You're welcome.
That's all right. So what do we want to go on to now?
Well, hell, you want me to list my pet peeves?
Go for it.
We ain't got all day, Tony.
People, I only got basically two.
Okay.
People who don't know how to pronounce the word lever, and there's no such fucking thing as long colt.
Yeah, it's lever action. It's not lever action. It's lever action. I agree with you on that one. It annoys the piss out of me when people say lever action.
So why we had this discussion before? I don't remember if you answered it or not. But why do they have long colt written on the box? If it's
Yeah, that was
confusing.
It isn't wrong.
Because
99% of boxes don't have it on there.
all the
once
boxes
upon a
I've got
time,
do.
people couldn't differentiate between 45 Schofield and 45 Colt.
Schofield was 44.
So what, you just want to call it 44 Colt? I mean,
45 Colt. Look at the bottom of the damn brass.
Yeah, that is the bottom of the brass all says 45 Colt, but all my boxes say long Colt.
And the box
So what's a
is
short?
fucking wrong.
So what's a short Colt?
ACP.
Well, that's a pony that hadn't grown up to be a full-sized horse yet.
Raphael, what grinds your gears then, Raph? I'm reading the chat here.
He said it. He said it.
Yeah. So it's just those two, Tony. That's it, huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I tell you who's bad at saying lever action is everybody's, not mine, but everybody else's hero, Yankee Marshall, calls it lever action.
Who's she?
I don't think anybody openly calls him their hero.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
That I just thought I just threw that in there. That's
I've never once heard anyone on YouTube call Yankee their hero because it's Yankee.
I'm not gonna say anything bad about him since he's not here. And I don't want him here really. But
I'm not going to say anything good about him.
I'm just saying I've never heard anyone call him call him their hero. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. That was my little smart ass dig it.
I don't watch Yankee videos, but he is how I found this place. So
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he does some. I mean, I think it's great what he does on his giveaway gun thing. He does every week, every Sunday. I think it's Sundays he does it. Occasionally I do catch him. Because I mean, he was. I think the first two people I subscribed to was Hickok 45, the Yankee Marshall, Never Enough Ammo were sort of like the first three I ever subscribed to. And even though I don't watch them anymore, very rarely, I've never unsubscribed from them. Either one of those. Hickok
Everybody,
or Yankee.
everybody knows when you watch them because you're bitchy as hell the next day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. So we're not going to get off my lawn. That's right. You know, I don't have to worry about that today because I had somebody else.
No. Get off my lawn. I just mowed it.
You know.
See, no, I don't think that way. Trample that shit into the fucking dust. Knock yourself out.
Roll around in it. You'll be all right.
Yeah, you know, anyway, I said my yard is all taken care of by my landlord. I don't have to do a damn thing. You know, which I think is great. Let's see, what you call it? Raphael says, a guy asked in a chat I was watching if a 223/556 round could penetrate a tank and is that meant to be fill it with fumes?
If it didn't enter what?
This chat that Raphael was watching. Some guy asked if a 223/556 round could penetrate a tank, and I assume that's and fill it with fumes.
Maybe like a tank from World War One or maybe World War One.
Yeah,
They got the windows.
I don't know what kind of stat you're
And
watching.
only
they'll
if it's
easily
like
penetrate a gas tank. No problem.
You know?
only if it's like
And it's already full of fumes. It's a
a
gas
ga-
tank.
Yeah,
A
that's what I
normal
think is a gas tank, not an actual tank. I think
a
that's
normal gas tank, yes, but an actual tank,
No, it ain't
full
full
of-
of-
no.
I think that the guy probably that Raphael saw was probably typing bad, right? So I'm pretty sure what he was asking is, would a 223/556 round penetrate a tank full of fumes, like a gas tank? I think that's what the because I don't see any
Okay.
real. I don't even
Alright.
see a kid asking if a 223 round will penetrate
Yeah.
a tank.
Yes, but it's not going to turn the vehicle into a nuclear explosion.
Damn it, Tony! I watched it happen on TV.
There you go.
You know? Well, Raphael says I think the guy thought army tank. Right.
Only if they got the windows rolled down.
You know. So anyway, I don't own an AR-15. So maybe you don't have to have one to have this, but what's the difference between a 223 and a 556?
Pressure.
Dimensionally nothing.
Pressure.
The 556 is a little hotter because their cases are supposedly a little heavier. So there's less powder room in them. When they go off, they spike pressure more.
So if you have can you buy an AR-15 in a 223? Can you shoot 556 out of it?
No,
Not
but you
if
could
it's
shoot a
223
223 round out of a 556 rifle.
Yeah, not if the barrel stamp 223, like Olympic Arms and a couple other companies, Rick, have sold ARs in the past that were 223 rem only. And so, no, don't shoot a 556.
Does anybody still make just a 223? I thought everybody made 223 wild or 556 now.
Well, for semi-autos, you're pretty much right, but all the bolt actions and everything are still 223 rem chambers because it's a much tighter, more accurate chamber than 223 wild or 556.
I'd personally just go 556 and shoot 223 out of it.
223 wild barrels will shoot both too. That's the whole damn thing about what that barrel is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Rick, that's just like the Magnum. Like you can shoot a 38 out of a 357, but you can't shoot a 357 round out of a 38 revolver.
Okay, I got you. As you can tell, I mean, I said I don't own an AR-15 and I'm new to guns. I said the only rifle I got it's my Mickey Mouse lookalike AR-15, my Smith & Wesson M&P 1522.
Hey,
Don't worry, Rick. We'll get you an AR-15 one of these days.
You know,
That thing goes bang when you pull the trigger, and it's
hey,
giggly as hell.
it's fun shooting that thing. It really is. It really is fun shooting. And I said I've had it 2 years now. I shot it. What was it, last month for the first time in over a year? I mean, and I said when I took it down the range, I forgot to take my 22s with me. So all I had was the 2 mags I got with it that were already loaded. So I only had 50 rounds, but it was fun. Just shooting 50 rounds. If I'd taken more with me, I would have shot, 500 of them. I would have taken a.
Did you catch when I said the other day in the day show or chat that Buds had 22 ammo for 2 cents a round?
Who did?
Buds Gun Shop. Discount
Oh.
guns.
Oh, yeah?
And you're not too damn far away from them, so shipping wouldn't be too bad, I don't suppose. Of course, you have to pay that hazmat fee, but still, that's pretty damn cheap.
That is cheap.
Why I got 3,500 rounds of it sitting on my bench.
Yeah. Oh, as I said, I like shooting that little 22. It is fun. I mean, where I was going with this, I know I've put over, since I've had it, I know I put over a couple of thousand rounds in it, and I've never had it mess up once. Not once. So, but then again, every gun I own, I always clean it after I come back from the range. I do it automatically.
Every gun I own, I always clean at least once every 3 years.
Oh, there you go. See, so
Whether
that's
it needs it or not.
some people do that, but no, I clean mine. I remember one time I went down to when I was in Rhode Island. I went down to the gun range. I wasn't planning on going. I just happened to turn down this road, and I realized I wasn't that far from the range. And so, I said, well, let's go to the range. I went to the range. This is with my carry weapon. I unloaded 1 magazine, jumped back in my truck, and went back home, cleaned my gun. That's that's what I do every time. It's just, I don't know why. It's just something I don't know, taking care of it, I guess. Or am I being overzealous there with cleaning guns? But I like cleaning guns. I love doing it. I love the smell. I use Ballastol too.
If you don't use
it all, for cleaning it, lubing it, everything. Let Ballastol just soak the shit in it. I love the smell of the stuff.
If you don't use a real hard rod, it won't hurt nothing to clean them as much as you want. Or if you use a liner to go in the end of the barrel so it can't rub the rod against it.
Yeah.
I clean mine.
I use one of a snake thing. Clean my rifle.
Yeah, that won't hurt nothing.
But the rest of my guns, I just like cleaning them. I love the smell of it. So, a lot of times when I was I haven't done it here so much as I haven't gone shooting as much, which is, I'm in a freer state and I've done less shooting, which is really weird. But anyway, I got to start. Normally I'll sit here and talk to you guys during the day and clean my guns while I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? But because I got my cleaning kit back here.
Do you use the mix for Ballastol, mix it with water?
No.
You can mix that 10-to-1 with water to clean guns.
You can?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I just put the little straw on the end of it and squirt the shit out of everything. Let it sit there. Squirt it down the barrel. Let the barrel sit for a little while. I squirt it everywhere.
The water thing is really good on black powder.
Yes, it is. I'll agree with Tony 100%. Nothing cleans black powder like water. I literally clean my black powder with just a garden hose. That's how I clean.
No, talking about that, I saw Squib doing a video. He was at the sink running water. He was cleaning the black powder and he was running it through hot water or whatever, through everything.
Well, back when they were in service for real, there wasn't no fucking Ballastol.
They peed on them. That's how they clean their guns a lot of the time, especially out in the field, is they peed on them, and the ammonia in the pee neutralizes the corrosive action of the corrosive, like black powder they had back then, and it neutralized that reaction. So they would literally pee on their guns and pee down their barrel. and they dip them in a stream and wipe them dry, and that's how they service their guns out in the field.
Be a bad time to have an accidental discharge.
But that is really a true story. They really did. I read all about it during the Revolutionary War, and even long before the Revolutionary War. That has been a very, very common practice for black powdered rifles and pistols, was to pee on them if you didn't want them to corrode and waste away. Especially, like I said, if you're out in the field for a long amount of time and you can't get back to the campsite to boil some hot water. That's how these guys were cleaning their rifles.
It's amazing what you can learn.
If you think about it, man, those that are into black powder, that would have been a friggin' nightmare to try to keep them clean out in the field if you didn't have to go piss, because they foul so quick.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I read that they used other forms of animal urine, and then later they started using some kind of glycol-based, like basically like animal fat, stuff like that. But yeah, it was pretty common to, not only just pee on your rifle, but literally carry around like a bottle of pee just for that.
God forbid you pour liquor in it. Actually, the easiest way I've ever found to clean one of those is take the barrel out of the action, stick the barrel in hot soapy water, and just use ramrod with a cleaning jag and a patch, turn it into a pump.
Well, so that makes it an interesting thing. If you're hunting with black powder and you need to clean your black powder rifle while you're out in the woods, you just take your can of doe urine and clean it. Genius. Genius.
Well, there
I
you
doubt
go.
in the grander scheme of hunting with black powder today, you're not out long enough to need it.
I know, it was a joke.
But I've smelled doe urine, and I would not pour it. Not something that's going to go up by my face at any time soon.
Okay.
Oh, have you ever made that mistake going hunting and you come across something at the store like, yeah, doe urine. Oh, okay, I'm going to put this stuff on me and deer aren't going to be able to smell me, and then made that mistake of actually using it? Oh boy. Coyote urine or just any? Oh my God. I'm like, no.
My kids did it with coyote urine because I had it sitting there and they're like, oh, what's this? And it's a little soft ass squeeze bottle. They took the cap off of it, squirt. Oh, God damn. You need to go find your mother because I ain't even want you in the damn house.
Oh, Jason Stewart said, is that where the term came from? Shoot the piss out of it came from? Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I want to go back to I was going to ask you something. It was about black powder, Tony. I can't remember what the hell it was now. So, what about powder? What you said with the ballistol, you mix water with it. Why?
Because water is better softening black powder than oils are.
Water's still acidic,
And water and black ballistols ingredients mixed with water, it'll turn to milky white and it'll stay. It won't separate again unless you got too little.
And that's better. I mean, so when I get a black powder, that's what I need to do. You
can probably do it on any gun.
Lots of guys use that trick on lots of different guns. Yeah, not just black powder. They'll buy it. They don't buy the Ballistar in like the spray can. They buy it like just in like that tin bottle, right?
Yeah.
Then they'll pour it in their own little spray bottle mixed with water. And not only that, it's cheaper. They're able to, basically make it last much longer, that can of Ballistol. So it's probably cheaper on their budget doing it that way too. But I've seen nothing but good results from people using Ballistol and water for like 40 years.
Okay. All right. I said the only reason I use Ballistol, I said I'm new to. I said, this is my third or fourth year into shooting. Was I got the Ballistol idea because I was watching the Hickok 45 video when I first got into guns, and back in the day he would do stuff, and you would see him. He would show you how to clean guns and all this kind of stuff in his loading room there, and he swore by Ballistol too. So
Well,
that's
I'm
what
new to
made me buy
ballast.
it.
I'm new to Ballastol. I got my first can of it 2.5 months ago.
And it smells like ass, doesn't it? Even though Rick says he likes it.
I don't
I
see
love the
where it
smell of it.
smells good.
So I'm on Ballastol's website, so I'll just read this. So it says, "Do I need to mix Ballastol with water?" It says, "No. For most applications, straight Ballastol should be used. Always use 100% Ballastol on electrical equipment. Emulsify Ballastol with water for use in cleaning black powder or corrosive ammo residue. As a boring and cutting oil in jet washers and ultrasonic cleaners, refer to the mix ratio chart below." So in ultrasonic cleaners and in cutting oil, you can mix Ballastol with that. And for any kind of corrosive ammo or black powder, they definitely recommend a 75% water, 25% Ballastol for black powder. For corrosive ammo, 90% water, 10% Ballastol. For let's see, for clean and smokeless, modern smokeless powder, they just recommend 100% Ballastol.
And just to go back to the beginning of the show for everybody who missed it, if you would have seen some of the food that Rick and Squib were talking about buying, you'd probably understand why Rick thinks Ballastol smells good.
Oh yeah, when Squib was in the world food section at Myers, yeah, talking about digestive biscuits and Branston pickle. Yeah, God, then I love Branston pickle. I need to go buy some more jars of it. It's fantastic with cheese, with not with American plastic cheese. With use sharp cheddar on a
Why would
sandwich.
any
Get some Branston pickle on top of it. Oh man, make your tongue bat your brains out.
What is a Branston pickle?
It's a variety of different pickles mixed into this sort of it looks like a chutney, for the best way to describe it. But it's got a real tangy taste to it. Really nice.
it was right next to the product that was probably had one of the worst names you could have for a product. It was salad cream.
Now, yeah, salad cream is it's unique in its own self. It really is. It's got its own unique flavor, taste to it. But, it's not, the salad cream's not to everybody's liking. I must admit. So, but no, type it in on your computer. Type in Branston pickle, and it will come up. Branston pickle. Branston is actually the name of the company.
Do I need to type www?
No, don't think so. No. But it is. It's tangy and it's great. You can use it with other stuff, but I mainly use it for cheese sandwiches.
Oh, it's like a paste.
Well, it's not a paste. It's lumpy. It's lumpy because of the pickles in it and the other stuff.
Do you guys know how
kind of like a
Ballastol
relish?
got? Oh, go ahead, Snuff.
It's like a relish.
Okay.
What was that, Dead Horse?
I was going to say, I was just since I was on Ballastol's website, I was reading about the history of Ballastol. You guys know how Ballastol came about?
Nazis wanted it.
No.
Yeah, exactly. It was a German military, made for the German military, gun oil. So I never knew that Ballastol, yeah, basically, German military stuff. It was used all the way until the end of World War II by the German military.
You can use that shit for a lot of stuff. I mean, you can put it on wood, the oil wood, like teak oil. Like they said about electronics, it does take care of that too, like if your battery's corroded.
Yeah, it's not just for firearms. It has multiple uses, but I said I just use it for a firearm. I got a couple of cans here somewhere of it. Said I do. I love the smell of it. I don't know, but here's again. Now you guys might think I'm really weird here. Like you're driving along the old country road here, and somebody run over a skunk, right? that smell, it smells like burnt coffee to me. And I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. You know. Now, when a skunk first sprays, yes, I don't like it. But after a little while, it starts smelling like burnt coffee. I don't have a problem with it.
Your smeller's fucked up, I can tell you that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, doesn't smell that way to you guys. So, but it does. It smells like burnt coffee.
You get skunk, and then you get rotten skunk.
Yeah. You know, because
But coyotes won't even pick them up. God damn.
You know, when you have those glass coffee pots, and you leave a little bit of coffee in the bottom of it, and it's sitting there with the heat on, then it sort of like bakes real hard, and that smell you get off of it, to me, that smells like skunk. Or skunk smells like that, I should say. To me. So maybe I do have nasal issues.
Well, if you enjoy that, I just bought a yellow little bag at the Dollar General store of espresso, ground espresso coffee.
Yeah.
And that shit smells like burnt coffee when you're making it. It doesn't taste bad. It's not the most appealing smelling coffee I've ever seen.
Jason,
and it will kickstart your heart.
Jason Stewart says dead skunks smell like weed. So there you go. What can I say? Anyway, we're going to start winding this up because we're way off shit now. We're just rambling on here, you know. And I'm going to barbecue myself some burgers.
I did that last night.
Damn cat just bit me, you bastard.
Telling you, your life would be a lot better if you just killed them fuckers and stuffed them.
Yeah, I went down. He's sitting down here next to me, and I just went to stroke his head, and he moved his head and bit me. So, anyway, yeah, I'm going to have some burgers on the grill. You know, when I was at Walmart yesterday, you guys are going to like this. I even bought stuff to make salads because I got to start getting back on my diet.
Back to the cat for just a second.
Yeah.
I think he's expressing his disagreement about the smell of skunks with you.
You think so?
I believe so, yeah.
He's just sitting there staring at me. Giving me
like saying, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, you know, what he's thinking is, he's telling me, hey, buddy, it's almost dinner time. You know? They know exactly what time. I mean, they wake me up in the morning to be fed. As I've said many times when I'm on the chat and during the day, they start. I mean, it's getting close to 5, so they start circling, coming around, hanging around my legs and stuff like that because they know it's near feeding time. So, yeah, you're right though. I mean, I'm not a cat person, but these two here are growing on me. They're big old boys too. You gotta. You've seen them. I think you've seen them. I've made it. You son of a bitch! He done it again. He thinks I'm
don't just kill them and skin them, butcher them.
Damn.
Have Chinese food for supper.
Yeah, that's made with cat. You son of a
They
bitch.
are big.
Yeah, these cats are big. This one's trying to get this. Now, he's sticking my hand out there and he's jumping for it now. I ain't playing with you, you bastard. No,
I'd be afraid them fuckers to eat me in my sleep.
no petting for you. Yeah. So, there we go. Anyway, I want to say thank you for everybody for being here. I really do appreciate it on this. It's up in the 80s here. What's it like up there, Tony?
It was 71 when I was driving home from getting the old lady at work a while ago.
Okay. I think it's 83, 84 here down in southern Indiana.
It was quite a bit
below the
warmer.
Dixon line, you know.
It was warmer, but it just had finished raining.
And it's going to be in the 80s for the next foreseeable, at least for the next week or so, according to the long-term forecast. So I think summer's finally here. So I got my fishing. I told you I got my fishing license. Fishing started in April, but I haven't been fishing yet. And So what I'm going to do is next week, I'm going down to the conservation club to go. That's where I shoot at. And I'm going to shoot there. Then it's got the big giant lake there too. So I think I'll go do some shooting. Then I'll pull my truck up to the lake, sit on the old tailgate, and do some fishing. That sounds like a pretty good day. You know?
If you ain't going to a range, you might as well do something else.
Yeah. Anyway, so I want to say thanks for everybody being here on this Saturday afternoon. I believe Minuteman University's, I think he's doing something today, I believe. So and I don't know who else is up next, but there are lots of stuff to do. So I want to say thank you, and we'll just go through the room here. Hugs, and we'll start with Tony.
Catch the early watch. Thanks to Dead Horse, we're back on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, starting at 8 a.m. Central Time and going until later on that morning. And everybody have a good weekend, what's left of it.
Thanks, Tony. The Gun Snob, any plugs or shout-outs?
Yeah, I'll probably have a show tonight about 8 o'clock. I say about 8 o'clock because it's never on time, but it may be 8:30. But yeah, so Central, the real time. And that's all I got. Oh yeah, I just released a video too, another NRAM video, so you can go watch that when it's over if you want to.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Do we see that on www?
Yeah, and you can visit my website at www.thegunsnob.net.
All right, and the one and only David Kingpin Bowling.
Guntube.org. Rickslifeasiseeit. Shooting with Disabilities. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Shouldn't it be www.guntube.org?
Well, my new website's going to be www.www.com.
Dead Horse.
I'm going to go try to get that right now.
Shut out, Dead Horse.
As I say, go over to gunchannels.com. There's some shows going on over there today. Every Saturday we got Rick's Life As You See It. G-Webs usually throws up a 2A media workshop to focus your 2A media skills. That's the service that he provides over there. That's everyone should be thanking him for. Then we also have a Gun Snob show tonight, and after Gun Snob, I believe we have Sarge for
all right
for defense.
All right, now I want to say thank you at 7 p.m. for Shooting with Disabilities. So I hope to see you all then. Also, if you got any questions you want asked on this show or Wednesday show, just email them to me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I would appreciate it. And if you like what you heard or saw today, give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I would appreciate for that too. So I want to say thank you all for being here and have a good afternoon, and we will see you on Wednesday.